All right, by now you've probably heard about the legislation that came into effect January 1st that restricted foreign buyers from purchasing Canadian real estate. However, like all things government, the devil is in the details and there are some exceptions. So let's look at some of the exceptions to the regulations. First off, a non-Canadian who purchases a residential property in Canada with their spouse or common law partner who is a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident, or a person registered under the Indian Act is exempt from the new legislation. A temporary resident studying in Canada meeting all of the following criteria: enrolled in an authorized program of study at a designated learning institution as defined in the Immigration and Refugee Protection Regulations, has filed income taxes for each of the last 5 taxation years in Canada, have been physically present in Canada for a minimum of 244 days in each of the last 5 calendar years, purchase price not exceeding $500,000, have not previously purchased a residential property in Canada while the prohibition is in effect, is exempt from the rules. Also, a temporary resident working in Canada meeting all of the following criteria: hold a valid work permit or are authorized to work in Canada, have worked full-time in Canada for at least 3 years within the last 4 years, have filed taxes, income taxes in Canada for 3 of the last 4 taxation years, have not previously purchased a residential property in Canada while the prohibition is in effect, is also exempt. Now, refugees, including claimants and individuals fleeing international crises, if they have been given refugee protection or are a protected person under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act 2001, have made a claim for refugee protection in accordance with the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, if that claim has been found eligible and referred to the Refugee Protection Division, have received temporary resident status in accordance with the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act based on humanitarian public policy, considerations to provide a haven to those fleeing conflict, once again, they may be exempt from the Act. Accredited members of a foreign mission in Canada, if they hold a passport that has a valid diplomatic, consular, official, or special representative acceptance issued by the Chief of Protocol of Canada. Okay? And the last exception is the location of the property. So properties located outside of census metropolitan area or census agglomeration are also exempt. And what I've done is I put a link in the notes section with a map that will take you through Stats Canada. And when you click on this map, you'll see that the green areas are all not subject to the ban, while the orange areas are subject to the ban. So there is a lot of area actually when you click this map. It's certainly not across the country. Now there is a couple of other folks who are exempt or situations that are exempt. If you're purchasing a mixed use or residential property, commercial property, and rental buildings with more than 3 units, those folks are also excluded from the prohibition. Those properties are excluded. So residential property, including mixed-use property and underdeveloped mixed-use or residential property, is subject to the ban. So basically, commercial property with rental buildings, the commercial components, those seem to be exempt. So lots here, lots of information. Definitely, like I said, check out the map. There's a lot of areas that still are fine to purchase those properties, even if you're a foreign buyer, and you're not going to be impacted by it. Bottom line is, if you need mortgage assistance, you need some help navigating these waters, you're someone who lives outside of Canada, not a problem. Give us a shout at the Auxilium team. Auxilium simply means to care, aid, assist, and support. We assist buyers, whether they're in Canada, United States, worldwide, or just right here in Victoria. And across, actually, like I said, also across Canada. So, and all through BC. So basically, we cover a quite myriad of situations and properties and locations. Give us a call. We'd be happy to help, and we look forward to assisting you.